All right. You are all set. Let's introduce Susan Smith.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's very fun to have you in my kitchen. We are making chicken scallopini or eggplant scallopini. I am doing the chicken tonight, but the picture in the email was of the eggplant. Scallopini means a thin boneless slices of meat. Usually it's veal scallopini. About 25 or maybe even 30 years ago, one of our members, Sandy Garrison, gave cooking classes in the temple. And I'm still in touch with her, and she actually might come on the Zoom tonight. So
I'm here, Susan.
Oh, hi, great.
See ya.
So thank you for this cooking lesson, Sandy. So Sandy did veal scallopini, but I don't like to eat veal. So I started making it with chicken. And my family loves it. When I told Dina that I would make chicken scallopini, a few days later, I started feeling very guilty because that would leave out the vegetarians. So I tried to think of what I could do vegetarian-wise. So I tried it with thin slices of eggplant, and it came out great. So either one is good. Okay, so first thing is oil in the pan. You really have to use your judgment. You can't go exactly by measurements. It depends how large your pan is and how many slices of chicken or eggplant you have. So I'm just eyeballing it. Okay. So I have my chicken cutlets here, and we're going to dip them in flour. So I'm going to put approximately a cup flour, maybe 3/4. I think that was too much. I'm going to keep the flour handy in case I need more. And just going to add the oil. You can use a non-stick pan or a stainless steel pan, whatever you have. So I'm going to take a slice of the chicken cutlet, dip both sides in the flour. And since the oil's not hot enough, I'm just going to put them on a separate plate and wait for the oil to get hot. So just like press it down in the flour so you cover the whole thing, and then just shake off the excess. So I have 4 slices.
I'm so sorry to ask a question. Susan, you didn't say anything about salt or pepper. You do it much later?
Later.
Later. Right
Yes.
now it's just chicken and flour. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. One more. Now, if your slices are very thin, they're going to cook very quickly, even just a minute on the side. So I'm going to start.
Susan, how much oil do you use? Is this like deep frying or more like sauteing?
It's kind of in between, and it can also be according to your preference, but I did cover the entire bottom of the pan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to put each piece in. And I'm hoping to fit them all in one pan. If you have more than fits in one pan, you basically have a choice of making more than one batch or using two pans at the same time. Usually in that case, I do two pans because otherwise it takes so much longer. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it basically for 1 minute. You can see the edges start to get white, or with the eggplant, they would start to get a little brown. Okay, my edges look white. I guess it also depends on how hot your oil is. Oh, this is really sizzling. So I'm turning mine over. It should be lightly brown on each side.
You said it's on a medium heat,
What?
medium flame?
I couldn't hear that.
Is it on a medium flame?
Yeah, I just lowered it actually because it was getting too hot. But I would say medium.
Susan, for the eggplant, what am I waiting for the eggplant to look like?
Also a little brown. Just make sure it's soft. You don't want it to be hard.
Okay.
So Susan, Josie Levine said that she noticed you didn't dip them in egg and then flour them. Is there any reason for that?
Say it again.
That Josie noticed you didn't dip them in egg before you floured them. Is there?
Yeah, there's no egg in this recipe.
Okay, just is that okay, Josie? You got that?
Okay, mine is starting to smell good. Sandy, I have the original recipe you handed out all those years ago.
Wow. Hey, Sandy. I was wondering, the eggplant, will we have to salted it beforehand if we did for a wheat recipe?
You could. I
You
just
know,
followed this recipe exactly.
But for the eggplant,
You could salt it ahead of time. I did not. So I think mine is done.
okay.
So I'm taking it out, putting it on a plate. I turned off the flame. Okay. This is when you do the salt and pepper. So I'm just going to sprinkle salt and pepper on these. Okay, I'm putting these aside. I'm moving the pan off the heat. And I'm adding a little more oil. This is going to make a sauce. Now, coincidentally to doing this cooking Zoom, I've been doing a kind of genealogy project. So I've been writing about my grandparents and digging out their possessions that I've had buried in the house. And coincidentally, we are going to need to chop parsley. And I have my grandmother's wooden bowl and chopper. So this was like her food processor, I guess. And we also need lemon juice. And I have my grandmother's old juicer. So I'm going to cut the lemon in half, put it in here, squeeze it down, and make lemon juice. Truthfully, I usually do lemon juice from a bottle, but in honor of my grandmother. So I'm going to cut this lemon in half. And let's see if it works. I'm putting a glass to catch it. And it's making lemon juice. Now we need 2 tablespoons, so I'm gonna have to do the other half of the lemon, I think. Well, let's see. I'm gonna measure it. 1 and a drop. Okay, I'm gonna do the other half. Okay. That's that. And now the parsley. Where's my parsley? So you need 2 tablespoons, I think, of parsley. So I just cut a bunch. If I weren't using this chopper, I would just squish it into a ball, kind of, and slice it with a knife. But I'm going to try my grandmother's chopper. So
Susan, do you use the stems from the parsley or only the leaves?
okay, that's interesting. I was going to mention that because I don't know the answer. So I cut the stem close to the leaf. So I have a little bit of the stem in here. If anybody has a better answer to that question, I'll be happy to hear it. If I have a lot of time, I do just cut off the individual leaves. But I don't think it's necessary.
Thank you.
Susan, have we put anything back into the pan, or so far we're just getting the lemon juice and parsley ready?
I put the lemon juice in the pan.
Oh.
And when I chop this, I'm gonna put the parsley in too.
Got it.
I think it would work better with a knife, but I'll keep at it. But truthfully, not bad. So I'm gonna put this in the pan. Okay, swirl it around. Okay, so now we're gonna put the chicken or the eggplant back in the pan on a very low flame, just for a few seconds because it's already cooked. So I'm gonna turn on flame, low, and I'm gonna put these back on both sides. So the parsley makes it look very pretty. So I'm just, you can see, swishing it around. And I'm turning it over. Swishing this side around. And I'm going to take it out of the pan, back to the platter, turn off the heat. And I'm going to pour this gravy on top. More like the juice than the gravy. Okay. So now it looks like this. You can see without it spilling. And I'm going to cut some lemon slices for a garnish. And I don't know, can you see? That's it. So if you serve it on a platter, it's nice with the lemon slices. This is very delicious, but it's kind of a bland color. So I would tend to serve it with some very colorful vegetables like red cabbage, broccoli, asparagus, sweet potatoes. It makes a very nice presentation. And I like recipes that are quick. And this is one of them. So that's it.
Yay! You did great.
Oh, thank you.
Does
So,
anyone have any questions for Susan?
I have a question. Susan, I kind of looked up some scallopini recipes, and some of them say to use wine. Have you ever tried to add wine to it, like a little white wine?
I never tried it, but it sounds good.
Well, also they talk about butter, which we can't. So I
Well,
guess
actually, this recipe calls for butter, but I just use
I
olive
really
oil.
had to omit the butter. Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay. So it's butter and wine. That's what all the recipes say. So you never tried. Just a little bit of white wine when you put the lemon juice to give it a little more. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
The
But it looks terrific and very simple.
Yeah, very quick.
so Josie had asked a while
Even I
back
can do it.
about the addition of egg. When you add egg to and make it more of a batter, that becomes the French dish, chicken francaise or francesca.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if you add the egg, it just makes it a little richer and the breading a little fluffier, if you will. But this is great. It's so simple and direct, and the flavors are clean and looks great.
And try to get very thin cut chicken cutlets.
Well,
Like
if
I know
not-
Aaron's.
Yeah, I have never seen them so thin. I mean, you showed your slices. It's very hard to get them so
At Aaron's, they have thin and they have very thin.
Oh,
You know, what you can do, there's a mallet, and you can take, you know, it's a meat tenderizer and a mallet, and you put it in a plastic bag and bang away, and it will make any chicken breast. You have to take out the tenderloin, but you can bang it down. When I make chicken marsala or something like that, that's exactly what I do. Bang it out and
Actually,
I used the mallet prior to start our program
Right.
today because I knew my chicken was cut a bit thicker, but honestly, still it took longer time in what you explained. So it's very crucial to have very thinly sliced chicken.
yes.
Even mallet didn't help much. I mean, I'm still waiting for my chicken.
yeah, Rachel's mother-in-law is Israeli, and when she makes schnitzel, she uses the mallet to make it very thin.
and
A question. You can use the chicken thigh instead of the breast instead?
You mean with the bone?
No, without bones.
No, you can
Without
get
the
it
bone?
without the bones, yeah.
Yes, I never saw them cut so thin, but sure, you could use
Well,
it.
yeah, they can be pounded down too, so that they
Yeah.
can also.
Or just cook it longer.
Yeah, maybe, because I always find that the thigh is juicier than the breast.
That's true, but
1 minute, it's not gonna dry
in
out.
my family, even people who only like dark meat, they like this chicken because it's moist.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take
Good,
long,
but I
it
used too
only
much
takes
water.
a minute or two, so
Right.
it wouldn't get dry.
I
All
think
right, so,
we add mushrooms too, no?
oh, mushrooms would be nice.
Yes, just
Yeah.
in sauce to give it a little more volume, I guess.
Yeah,
Susan.
mushrooms would be great.
When we made it, the lemon juice went so quick, evaporated very quickly in the pan. So Alan took the bottle of lemon juice and was a little heavy on the lemon juice. so it's delicious, and he's not. I mean, he's still eating it.
Too much. So I overdid it.
But very good,
Very good.
very good,
Okay,
very
good.
easy, very good. And the eggplant is delicious.
Lemonade now, instead of shot.
Susan,
Did you
I'm
make,
just showing. Beautiful.
Good, good.
Mine was
Enjoy.
just finished. It's a bit thicker.
Ellen.
And all this water.
would you
Wonderful.
change, would you adjust your method if you were using the eggplant instead of the chicken?
I did not adjust it.
You would use exactly the same method, right?
Yeah, it's a little difficult to cut eggplant in very thin slices, but you just cook it as long as you need to.
Yeah.
One more question. What would you recommend us to serve it with besides slices of lemon? Meaning, what side dish would you suggest?
I would serve it with something colorful because it's kind of bland color.
Like grilled peppers or?
Well, you could do peppers, red cabbage, sweet potatoes, any green vegetable.
I wanted to ask if the eggplant absorbed a lot of oil.
Yes.
So what do you do? How do you get the oil out then? You just have to blot it? You
You
blot
can
it?
blot it on paper towels, or you could enjoy the oil.
Okay. Just call me Olive. Okay.
And actually, as was mentioned when Irit did her cooking, if you can find an eggplant that's lightweight, it has fewer seeds and there's more flesh to eat.
Susan, I don't know, someone told me, someone just popped up on the chat. We poured the lemon juice in the pan when it was still on the heat, which is why the lemon juice evaporated so quickly, and then we had to add more lemon juice. So I think we missed the step that you're supposed to take the pan off the heat. So if anybody does it, take the pan off the heat.
Oh, but the pan is still hot.
It was hot, yeah, but I guess ours was very hot.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
Okay.
So, listen, we're not complaining because we're eating it as we're speaking. Hold on a second. There he is. Where is he? There he
It's
is.
good. It's just a little bit too lemony, but it's good.
It's not stopping us from eating it, trust me. And the eggplant,
Next time, add wine, white wine.
yes, white wine would be nice too. Lovely.
With the lemon, so this way you'll have more volume and it's not gonna be so sour.
That's it. That's a good idea. But it was delicious. And
you know, the sissy wine, you know, it's a little.
The sissy wine is excellent. I cook with the sissy wine. Susan, you said it was a lady named Sandy who was the one who gave you the recipe.
Yeah.
So I hope she's still on because I want to tell her thank you. I don't know if she's still on. Is she still on?
I don't know. I can't see everybody.
I don't think she is. But next time you speak to her, Susan, thank her because that's an excellent, easy Shabbat recipe.
Ellen, let's see the eggplant.
I think it's gone. Hold on.
Do you peel your eggplant?
Looks good. Looks good.
It is good. It's very good.
Here's a picture in the email of eggplant.
What? Do you peel the eggplant?
My eggplant version.
I don't, but if I were making it for someone who didn't want the skin, I would peel it.
Can you all take pictures of what you made before you finish eating it and send them to me?
Now you don't.
Too late. Too late.
I should tell people that at the beginning every time now.
Right. Well, I can send you a picture of mine. We didn't eat yet.
Well, everyone, Susan, it looks delicious, and we thank you so much for sharing your recipe and Sandy's recipe with us.
My pleasure.
Looks really good and easy.
My
next week.
Here, I'm about to serve it. It looks delicious. It's
Can
really
you take
great.
a picture and send it?
Susan, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Really delicious.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you,
You're
Susan.
welcome.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dina,
It's a
what?
pleasure.
So
And
next,
the Abby cooking. There's actually a show called Splendid Kitchen Kids on NPR. They have recipes for 4-year-olds.
Oh, could you email that to me?
Sure.